I'm gonna lose my mind with this chair. Last night I was scrolling TikTok, as I do. What am I saying? And I saw a TikTok that completely rustled my jimmies and, freaking blew me away. I saw a TikTok of Eddie Hall, the world's strongest man or ex-world's strongest man, whatever it is, of him body slamming some dude in green shorts into another dude in green shorts, and I was confused because they were wearing MMA gloves and they were in an octagon, and I said, hold on a second, since when does Eddie Hall do MMA? I guess last night or the night before, I don't know, because I completely missed it somehow. Last night or the night before, whatever, Eddie Hall had an MMA debut against a couple dudes called the Neffati, the twins, and I somehow completely missed it. I was completely blown away because, like the stereotypical thing, oh, bodybuilders can't do MMA, they can't fight. Well, apparently they can, because the TikTok I saw, this freaking Eddie Hall was picking up this dude and just, freaking Kevin Randleman style. I'll go ahead and put it up. I wanted to make a video about it because that's just crazy to me how Eddie Hall was fighting MMA. I don't know, that just amazes me. I couldn't find the fight anywhere, not even to pay for. Obviously I missed it live, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I checked every dark web, back street, alleyway website I usually use to watch free MMA fights because I don't want to pay for ESPN Plus. The only thing I could find was a dude on TikTok who I think screen recorded the whole fight, which is totally legal. That's what I got pulled up. So I apologize if the quality is shit. I have no idea who the Neffati twins are. I think they do drugs. I only say that because why would you fight? Even if you firmly believe that, bodybuilders can't fight, right? Why would you fight Eddie Hall? How much do they weigh? Like 130, 140 pounds each? Let me look this up. Eddie Hall stands at 6'2" and weighs over 300 pounds, while the Neffati twins, the Neffati brothers, whatever, who claim to be 5'3". That's literally what the Google article says. Who claim to be 5'3". Everyone knows they're actually 5'2". I think everyone who's under 6 foot always tries to add an extra inch or two onto their weight. My girlfriend does it all the time. She's like, oh, I'm 5'4". Okay, right, 5'4". Okay. I'm sorry, babe. I love you. 145 pounds each. Eddie Hall weighs more than both of them combined.
And recently doubled the power of the ferocious Francis Ngannou.
I don't know what that means, but I know Francis Ngannou. He was training with Mike Tyson a little while ago. You telling me Eddie Hall beat his power or something? Okay. Apparently bodybuilders can fight after all.
It's the biggest freak fight.
What the fuck is that? Was that one of the Neffati brothers or was that a child? Some midget in a red jacket and Eddie Hall just threw him. Is that even allowed?
Deadlifting world records, strongest man titles, and now he's made a move into combat sports.
He's starting to remind me of Brock Lesnar. Didn't Lesnar do the same thing? He was he did wrestling for a whole bunch of years, then he did WWE, then he didn't have a few fights in the UFC or something, and now doesn't he just farm or something like that?
1.5 million followers on Instagram. I don't know how many millions on TikTok in the Neffati brothers.
I like how when Eddie Hall was coming out, when he was walking out, they were like listing off his list of achievements, like biggest heaviest deadlift in the world, athlete, MMA, wrestling, all this stuff. The Neffati brothers walk out and they're like, million followers on Instagram. I've also seen something where I guess like professional fighters were like mad at the Neffati twins for the way they walked out or something. I don't fucking know.
Clapping them in, let's go, already circling. Look at this, I talked about the strategy. They're both coming from a very wide angle.
Brian Shaw, what am I talking about? Eddie Hall seems to be a pretty smart fighter.
Get some timed leg kicks off. What a spectacle. I mean, Eddie is lunging towards them, and they're being very wise and cautious about the way that they're going.
It's starting to remind me of that one fight. I can't remember who it was. I used to know it off the top of my head. Who was, that one UFC fight where the dude just like stood in the middle of the octagon and just kept his hands up and just kept turning. I can't remember who it is now. I used to know it off the top of my head and I can't remember. The referee had to come in and be like, all right guys, like you guys kind of have to like actually fight. This is like a fighting championship.
Then his back is exposed and a big kick again from the twin. Trying to land that leg kick.
That could be Eddie Hall's weakness too, because I've seen a video of Eddie Hall taking a leg kick from a child. Fact that these Neffati twins can't get Eddie Hall as well as that child did. Just saying.
10-second clapper for this first round, which has been very uneventful.
There we go. My bad.
And that was round number 1 ended.
Eddie Hall's like, what the fuck?
It makes sense for the Neffatis. What are they trying to do? You would think if they were going to go for the leg, there would be more leg kicks. We've only seen 2 thus far.
For these two guys to even have a chance against Eddie Hall, they got to do like the pack of wolves on a bear tactic, right? They would have to get him off the back of the cage to be able to even have a chance. For one of them to get behind him and get like a rear naked choke or something. But as long as Eddie Hall's back is against that cage, unless one of them can get that leg kicking power of that child, I don't think it's happening.
Eddie checking his watch as the crowd get a little restless here.
They're getting a bit annoyed and frustrated as the main event so far has been minimal of action and another leg kick lands.
Yeah, I'd be booing too. Even if I was watching this online and I paid the $15-20 it cost to watch it online, I'd be like, what the fuck? I'm sitting here watching these dudes chase each other for 5 minutes straight.
You say this fight is going to happen on paper. Look at him sprint away. Eddie's trying to do what he can. You know, but the fatties there obviously have turned.
The fatties. Bro. How humiliating does it have to be fighting in a fighting championship and be called the fatties by the announcers?
And final round. Oh! The speed that Eddie ran across the cage.
Here it is! Here it is! Yeah. That is what I saw! Kevin Randleman style. Beat the brother with the brother. Taking his afternoon nap on the mat.
Fight is not over!
Yes, I am aware the fight is not over.
So he knocked one of them out, and now it's just a 1v1 between him and one of these 145-pound dudes.
He's trying to close the distance, stalking down his man. Oh, the jab sends him down. Is Eddie going to get on top? He's pinning
It's
his
over.
bicycle.
This is incredible. I've
Come on, Eddie Hall, you got it!
before.
David Vasquez. Oh, Eddie's on
Oh, it's
top.
over.
All over.
It's
Oh,
over.
he needs to move. He cannot stay.
Eddie Hall grabs him, and he immediately goes into the fetal position. That is great.
The ground and pound from Eddie. Oh, short shot, and he's calling it off.
That's
He
over.
gets the win. 2 knockouts for Eddie.
You know, I'll be honest, I'm a little disappointed he didn't get the knockout on both of them. I don't understand how they thought that would go. The Fatty twins. Or the Fatty brothers, whatever. I want to see more Eddie Hall MMA fights. Like I said, that is some Kevin Randleman type shit. Just picking dudes up and slamming them into the mat. I like how in the beginning the Fatty brothers were like, 30 seconds, this guy's out. Literally the second it was just one of the brothers versus him, less than 30 seconds, he was in the fetal position, getting the shit beat out of him. Rest in peace, the Fatty twins. I'm pretty sure the one that he suplexed probably has CTE, most likely. And I would just, if I were the Fatty twins, I would probably just retire, because that's pretty, it's pretty bad. Props to Eddie Hall. I hope to see more fights from him. I'm definitely watching him. Next time, I'm going to have to keep up to date with his fights, because I want to see him live. Anyways, my name is Mike Bull, aka The Bull, the $10 Cowboy. Words of wisdom. Real thugs put the Walmart shopping carts back in the shopping cart return. See y'all in the next one.